Hi, everyone. Welcome to Foundational Healing. My name is Abigail Sapir, and I am coming to you from Israel. And I'm just so excited to be here again this week, exploring natural ways to support and enhance our health. So, whether you're taking this class as part of the certification course or you're just here for a one-time class, welcome. It is so incredible that our bodies are these amazing designs that heal themselves when they're provided with the right environment and the right tools and the correct information. So, in this class and in this series in general, we explore how to create that balance in our body and to promote well being through essential oils and bioavailable supplements and nutrient rich foods. So, this is a little bit about our team. Um, we are a community within the doTERRA company. Each little team is really its own community, a little bit like a franchise. And together we explore natural healing, and we have a lot of health professionals on the team. We offer education and resources and guidance to help our team members and each other to discover personalized healing protocols for themselves and also their friends and their families and even clients. So we do this online, we do it in person, we meet, we have trainings, we collaborate, we do workshops. We have so much fun together. And in fact, it's just actually never enough. So I'm so glad that you could see a little bit about us today. And I hope that you'll take the time to research about this company, doTERRA, because while there's a lot of organizations out there that are really out working for themselves and their own betterment, doTERRA is one of those companies that we are so lucky to be a part of, and even on a large scale, that is taking care of not just the doTERRA community, but reaching out into the world in general. doTERRA Healing Hands Foundation, it reaches out beyond doTERRA community. They have first responders that go into areas of crisis in the world. They help to protect children from being trafficked and even rescue them. There's so many amazing things. And then, of course, within the doTERRA community, the quality and the level of professionalism that this company puts out, the way that they support their growers and they give them fair market value, and they go above and beyond in this world where everyone is just trying to squeeze out the very last drop of however much they can get for themselves. doTERRA is giving, 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 giving. And they do all sorts of things to help us even, get better prices and better quality natural solutions, and to support their, well, why don't I just tell you a couple things with the co-impact sourcing model. So what that means that when they're going into their growers, partnering with growers around the world, because they don't just choose one section and then just buy up land and grow plants to make the essential oils, right? Because doTERRA is very dedicated to quality. And if you're going to have a natural therapeutic solution that can be prescribed from a doctor or in a wellness clinic, it has to be the purest. And you have to be able to prove that, obviously, right? And it has to be potent. It has to be medicinal level. And it has to be consistent. You have to have the same results every single time. So between the ethical practices and the high quality products, doTERRA is also doing rigorous testing and able to provide all of that to everyone, not just doctors and medical professionals, but they're very happy to share their science and their research and all of their testing from the laboratories. And so we just love them, really. Just everyone that we meet from there, we're just so excited to be part of this. And I've been a part of this company for years. Okay, but we can talk about the company more another time. Today, I want to talk about the self-healing body. And so if you've been with us at all, you know we've talked a lot about this. But today, our objective is to understand the body's innate self-healing abilities and learn how to support them effectively. So, knowing that the human body is a remarkable self-regulating organism consisting of constantly working to maintain balance or homeostasis and to repair itself when faced with challenges. It's very comforting to know that this innate ability inside of us to heal is embedded in its complex systems, which communicate and collaborate to restore health and fight disease and adapt to environmental changes. A deeper understanding of the body's self-healing abilities empowers each one of us to support and nurture these processes through intentional lifestyle choices, self-care, and of course, natural remedies. Now, before we go on, I do want to just make a note that this course, our team, doTERRA, none of us, we are not any of us saying that plants heal you, they cure diseases, or that natural solutions heal the body or cure diseases. We are actually saying quite the opposite. We're saying that nothing can do that except the body itself. And so one of the differences between pharmaceuticals and natural solutions is pharmaceuticals can go in to the body and give it instructions to do something that does not want to do, or it can take over a function of the body in order to try to help cure a disease or bring balance back into the body. What natural solutions does, meaning plants, is it gives the body information and tools that it needs in order to do what it already does, in order to support its natural function. And it also helps to create an environment within the body that is conducive to healing. You might have heard that an alkaline state in the body is almost impervious to disease. And an acidic state is very welcoming to disease, right? So, speaking of that, let's talk about our immune system and defense against pathogens. So, the immune system is the body's primary line of defense against harmful invaders such as viruses, bacteria, fungi, and toxins, right? This complex system consists of a network of cells, tissues, and organs that all work together to recognize and neutralize threats before they can even cause harm. Let's start with white blood cells. These cells are the primary soldiers in the immune system's defense. Leukocytes. There are several types of white blood cells, each with specific roles. For example, phagocytes, example, macrophages and neutrophils engulf and digest pathogens, right? And then there's lymphocytes, those are T cells and B cells, and they're responsible for identifying specific invaders and creating antibodies and remembering pathogens for future protection. So along with white blood cells, we also have antibodies. And these are proteins that are produced by B cells that attach to the pathogens that mark them for destruction by other immune cells. They're really crucial for long-term immunity, and they help the body to remember past infections to know what to do. Now, inflammation is a very interesting subject because we want inflammation and we don't want inflammation. So basically, this is a very natural response, and it's an essential part of the healing process. When the body detects an infection or an injury, it activates the inflammatory response, which is good. It increases the blood flow to the infected area, bringing the white blood cells and the nutrients to support healing. And although inflammation is critical in fighting infection, chronic inflammation or an overactive inflammation can hinder healing and contribute to diseases like arthritis or autoimmune disorders. The immune system's ability to identify threats and eliminate them efficiently is a cornerstone of the body's healing process. So let's talk about our nervous system. The nervous system communication and regulation. So the nervous system, which includes the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerves, plays a pivotal role in coordinating the body's response to injury or illness and regulating healing processes. It allows different systems to communicate quickly and effectively to maintain homeostasis and facilitate recovery. In the automatic nervous, I do you like how I got that automated machine along with the little nervous the nervous system cell there. This our body is working automatically. And so what we need to do is just everything that we do in our life, every part of our lifestyle should be supporting that system as much as possible. We always want to be able to go from stress to healing. And if we can't, then there's an imbalance in the body because it's not that it's not doing its job, it can't do its job. For instance, well, we'll talk about the liver later. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so systems communication, the nervous system, the brain and the nervous system communication. The brain serves as the control center, constantly processing information about the body's internal and external environments. It sends signals through the spinal cord to the nerves, which relay messages to organs, tissues, and cells to regulate their function. These signals direct processes like inflammation, pain response, and immune system activation. So under the autonomic nervous system, we have the sympathetic nervous system. This activates during stress or perceived threats, preparing the body for quick action. And this response is essential for survival, but it can be harmful if triggered too often or for prolonged periods. See stress and healing. We always need to be able to go from stress of a perceived threat or physical stress or an emotional stress um, into healing as soon as the issue is over. Yes, we want to eliminate stress from our lives. However, the only way to do that is to um, be able to control our response to life happening. And this is really the key. So, the parasympathetic nervous system is the one that we want to be able to very easily trigger. This promotes relaxation, it repairs things, and aids in digestion. It supports healing by reducing stress hormones and lowering heart rate and enhancing nutrient absorption. And some of the things we can do to trigger the parasympathetic nervous system um, is rocking. So that's why do we rock a baby when it's upset and stressed and screaming? We rock it to calm it down. Why does it calm it down? Because it triggers the parasympathetic nervous system. Now you know. So you will often see people who are on the spectrum rocking themselves. And this is an attempt to calm down the sympathetic nervous system and trigger the parasympathetic nervous system. So instead of stopping anyone from doing that, I would encourage you to join them. Actually, do it as a companion, and even start humming or singing. This also triggers parasympathetic nervous system. Humming. Okay, we want our body to remember to go from stress to healing. Stress to healing. There are some things that we can do to enhance that as well. There are good shocks that remind our body or re-educate our body how to do this. One of them is taking a quick cold shower after your warm shower. Okay, that's a really quick shock to the body, and it cannot harm you. And it is very, very healthy also for the circulatory system. Another thing that can help this stress to healing, triggering the parasympathetic nervous system after a stress, is to go for to sprint. You start from a standstill into a crazy sprint, like your life depends on it. You do that for about 30 seconds and then you stop and you drop to the ground and you close your eyes and you just relax for like 2 minutes. And then you get up and you walk and you start running like a lion is chasing you. 30 seconds, drop to the ground, close your eyes and rest for 2 minutes. And if you do this every so often, even like once a week, this really helps to retrain your body to remember how to respond to stress. A lion was chasing me and now I'm safe. I was stressed and now I'm okay. I was upset and now I feel calm. So because the problem is that all of our cells have memory, right? And so when we are not doing that and we're in chronic stress like this, a lot of people in this world are, and it's almost impossible not to be, our bodies don't remember what it's like to rest and heal and relax. And so we need to remind it. And I think maybe a trick to kind of motivating us to do these things and encouraging us is to remember that we are not our bodies. If we were our bodies, it would be different, but we are not our bodies. So we need to make sure that our bodies are working. We have to be in charge because we are the one that controls the body's environment, what comes into it, what we eat, what we drink, what we're breathing. And if we don't have control over that, then we have control over whether we're accepting that or we're fixing that and balancing it. So what about cellular regeneration? The repair and the renewal of cells. The ability of the body to regenerate cells and repair tissues is fundamental to healing. Cellular regeneration ensures that the damaged tissues and organs can be restored to their original state, and new cells can be replaced, whether they're old or dead. So in tissue regeneration, the body's tissues are made up of specialized cells that have unique roles in different organs and systems. And when the tissue is damaged, cells begin to divide and differentiate to replace the lost or injured cells. And this process is guided by growth factors and signaling molecules that direct cells to the appropriate area. For example, skin cells regenerate to heal a wound, while muscle cells repair after a strain. In the cellular repair mechanism, the process of cellular repair is really complex. It's not completely made up of these, but it involves these: DNA repair, stem cells, and autophagy. In the DNA repair, cells have mechanisms in place to detect and fix damaged DNA. It ensures that the cells continue to function properly and avoid mutations that could lead to diseases like cancer. And stem cells, they are undifferentiated cells that can become various types of cells. So they're like floaters. They get to help wherever they're needed. They play a role in tissue regeneration and repair, especially in organs like liver and skin. And autophagy is the body's process of cleaning out damaged or malfunctioning cells in order to make way for new healthy ones. It is really essential for maintaining that healthy cellular function and preventing disease. And if you want to look that up online, it's really interesting to see this whole process of how the cell cleans itself out, how it creates like this substance around the cell, and then it goes in and cleans out all the nasty stuff. It's it's fascinating. Our bodies are the most incredible design ever. So while the body is highly adept to this cellular repair and regeneration, supporting this process is really critical for optimal healing. Because if you're not supporting it, the body can't do this well. And then we end up with a lot of mutated cells. So the body's role of organs in healing. The body's organs work synergistically to support healing and maintain health. Each organ has a distinct function, and yet they all contribute to the body's overall self-healing process. So we've talked about this before in a lot of other classes, and I want to just give you an overview here. I think it's very important to know these sections. They will help you a lot when you're looking at your own body and when you're dealing with clients or friends and family to understand what's going on in the body. There's even a lot of doctors that don't understand this or have never been taught it. So they don't like. Okay, so we'll get into a couple things here. Toxins enter the body through the skin, the lungs, and the colon. So these are the entryways. My skin is exposed to environmental threats. It is exposed to cleaning products, to skincare, etc. Right? Lungs are exposed to environmental situations. I lost the word. And maybe someone is smoking, or they have a toxic area they live in, or there's a chemical spill. You're breathing that into your lungs. Okay. Plus the colon. So that comes from the digestion. Everything that we're eating. If we're eating things that are synthetic or that are processed, or like if somebody's eating meat, and if they're eating animals that have been given any kind of vaccinations or hormones, or they're getting shots and maybe synthetic supplements, things like that, then you eat this and then your body is digesting all of that as well. Now, toxins exit the body in 4 sections: lungs, colon, skin, and kidneys. So just like toxins come in through the skin, we also can get rid of them through the skin. So that's why proper skincare is very important, and hydration. The colon, the toxins may come into the colon, but if our colon is working properly, which only happens if there's not daily toxins coming in. If you have an overload of toxins all the time from synthetics and meat and environment and processed food and all of that, the body gets overloaded and its functions cannot work very well. And the lungs, we breathe in bad stuff, but we can also breathe out bad stuff. So things to clean the lungs are very helpful, like doing salt water steam bath, breathing in that water to help clean out the lungs and kill any infections and pathogens in there. We can breathe in essential oils, which cleanses the air and brings helps to create an environment of healing in the body, and gives the lungs information and tools that it needs to detoxify itself. And the kidneys, obviously, our urine takes out all the bad stuff, all the dirty blood, including. So, and if our kidneys are struggling, then our detoxification process is slow. So after all of that, the toxins can get stored in the body. And this is where we come into chronic disease, autoimmune disease, issues like arthritis, organ failure, etc. So the toxins can get stored in the lungs. They can get stored in the colon, in the skin, all the exit points except for the kidneys, and the entry points. They get stored in the blood, in the bone marrow, in the liver, in the muscles, in the joints, arthritis, anyone, in the lymph system. So in our wellness journey, these are all sections that we want to continue to think about and support. How do we detox them? How do we support them on a daily basis? And how do we not add to the burden? Okay, so let's go into some of the organs and their synergy. Liver is detoxification. The liver processes toxins, it filters blood, it plays a critical role in detoxifying harmful substances that can interfere with the body's natural healing. The kidneys, filtration of the dirty blood, vital for maintaining balance in the body. They filter waste and excess substances, they regulate electrolytes, they control blood pressure, all of which influence how effectively our body can heal. Now, the heart and circulation. The heart pumps blood that carries oxygen, nutrients, and immune cells throughout the body and supports healing at a cellular level. Lungs, oxygenation. Oxygen is essential for cellular repair and regeneration, and the lungs provide exactly that, exactly what's needed to fuel these processes. Our digestive system, nutrient absorption. Nutrient absorption plays a fundamental role in healing, and it provides the body with the vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients necessary for repair and maintenance. Now, I told you I was going to tell you something about liver detoxification. So, when you, I wanted to just kind of show you, explain to you a visual on how some of these processes work. The liver is a bit like a sponge, and if you can imagine your kitchen cleaning sponge for the dishes, and you're cleaning off all the dishes with this sponge, and you're not rinsing and squeezing it out, and you just keep cleaning, what happens? That sponge starts to get very, very full of gunk. It's dirty, it's gross, and pretty soon it's not only not clean, but it's so full of gunk that the water, you can't even get water through it. And this is what happens to the liver. Now, the liver can regenerate very quickly, and because it's like a sponge, it can be detoxed very quickly as well. So we want to do things that help to clean out the toxins, to release the toxins from the liver, so that it can effectively keep squeezing and releasing, squeezing and releasing, squeezing and releasing. That's how it's pumping through. That's how it processes those toxins and filters the blood, kind of this squeezing action. There are some things that can trigger it, even like enemas, like a coffee enema, organic coffee enema, can trigger the little tip of the liver, which tells it to squeeze, like you're squeezing that kitchen sponge to squeeze all the gunk out, and then it releases and it fills up, right, with liquid. And then you can do another enema. It squeezes out all the gunk and then opens to fill up again. So a few times of that, and all of a sudden your liver is working much more efficiently. Pro tip, if you're having problems with anger, do coffee enemas safely. Please do your research. Please follow the instructions. Please don't be silly about it. It is very safe and effective if you do it correctly, like anything natural. And because liver and anger are very closely related. If you are angry, your liver is going to suffer. And if your liver is suffering from toxins or whatever else, something's wrong in the body, you will feel angry as well. So it's amazing how just going to treat our organs that are related to different emotions, like kidneys to fear, can all of a sudden calm our mental state. So balance is so important in the body. If we are imbalanced, our body is in dis-ease. It is not at ease. Disease is just the body out of balance. So balancing support and defense in the healing process supports the body's natural healing mechanisms and counteracting potential obstacles that hinder healing. We really have to embrace the importance of creating a harmonious environment that supports healing, including factors like stress, sleep, nutrition, and physical activity. So, what can we do that will support these functions in our body versus hindering that healing? And then what kind of mindset do we need to have in order to support the body as well? So I don't I separate out all of the mindset and emotion things, because even though they are interconnected and unavoidably partners with the body, it's not easy for everyone to really put those two together because we think of them as very different systems. But as we go on in the course, you're going to understand more and more how they're directly linked. So, supportive habits to our organs and our whole entire body function is rest. Rest is extraordinarily important. So, something I would like you to do when we get to the homework page is you can already make notes. If you can, I want you to write down ways that you enjoy resting. Yeah? I don't want to hear any excuses like I don't have time, there's no space, etc., etc. No one has time or space. No one's in the habit of doing this anymore. We live in a very fast-paced technological world. So I just want to hear what you would like to do. So just start to take some notes. If you could rest in any way you wanted to, what would that look like for you? For me, it would look one thing that I love to do that's restful for me is horse riding. So like last Sunday was one of my daughter's birthdays, and we went horse riding in the hills around here. And it was so beautiful. It was peaceful. It was quiet. We couldn't hear a car. We couldn't hear any machinery. Only one of us had a phone to take pictures, and everyone else left their phone away. And it was just so peaceful, so energizing, so refreshing, and so much fun. So that's an example of something that I love to do for rest. Often people's hobbies are restful to them. So if you don't have hobbies, don't think about why or how you can't. Just think about what you would like to do and write it down. Nutrition. Okay, nutrition is very, very, very important. Nutrition can really make or break our health. When we're putting food into our body that is full of synthetics, full of hormones, full of whatever is in vaccines, things that are processed or stripped of nutrients, like bleached white flour, it might not have anti-nutrients in it, but it's stripped of everything that could have made it even slightly nutritious for our body. So I think this is something that is maybe on the larger scale difficult. So again, just write down, if I could have any kind of healthy eating lifestyle, what would that look like for me? If I could do anything. Personally, I love a fusion of Korean and Indian food. That is one of my favorites. It's comforting, it's warm, it's interesting, it's fun, and it's so balancing. And then I think like Tex-Mex would be my junk food. Not Arby's, not Taco Bell, but like, good, healthy Tex-Mex. But it's still not something that I could eat every day and feel real balanced in my body. But like Indian food, Vedic recipes and ways of eating, Korean food, for me, this is just very comforting and energizing and sustainable. Okay, other people like Italian or whatever. So if you could eat any style of food, what would it be? Something healthy. McDonald's doesn't count. We're thinking, and again, we're not thinking of I don't have time for this, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if I were really thinking ideal, I would go back to many years ago when I went on raw foods for 2 years. And I have to say that although I really enjoy eating Indian Korean fusion, raw food I felt absolutely the best on. I felt magical. I really felt like nothing could stop me. It did take a lot of work and a lot of time, but I also had so much energy. Oh my goodness. But it also can be extremely expensive. So anyway, again, we're not thinking of restrictions here, just ideal. What would you do? Okay, hydration. Now, hydration is not pure water. It is not enough to just drink, let's say, 3 liters of water every day. Okay, Because if you don't have the right minerals in the body, your cells cannot absorb the water. And a person, it is feasible for a human being to die of dehydration while they are drowning in fresh water. Okay? This is difficult. So our body needs 12 minerals and 34 trace minerals. That's a lot, and there's no way I get that from my regular food. So I definitely appreciate doTERRA's supplements of the Terra Greens, which is concentrated, dehydrated, raw foods, green veggies and fruits, which gives you a lot of those minerals. Also, the bone complex nutrients and the VMZ plus. Those are three things that really can help support that mineral intake in our body. Stress reduction. Now, this is stress reduction and rest. It's hard to put a picture here that equals stress reduction because there's not like a neutral picture to show meditation. It's associated with one form of meditation. All the pictures, showing like sitting in a yogi pose. There's a lot of people in the world that don't want to do yoga or participate in that. And that's fine. But meditation is universal. And meditation is when your mind is in a quiet space and it's either very, very, very quiet, very still, like water on a pond. Or sometimes you can look out to the sea and not the ocean, I mean the sea, and just see it's clear. There's no ripples, there's no waves. And there's just this kind of like a blanket or the snowfall, this first snowfall, and everything is just quiet. This is a resting environment in which you can reduce stress. And that stress reduction will begin to happen instantaneously and automatically. The trick is to trigger these situations, to put ourselves in these situations. Meditation is also, now there are some people that don't even believe in meditation. And the funny thing about that is that they already do meditate, they just don't even know it. When you go over and over something in your mind, it's a meditation. Your mind is processing it, it's working it out, it's trying to understand it, and trying to receive whatever information or goodness it can from whatever it's thinking about. When you have a subconscious, let's say, internal dialogue, this is also a kind of meditation. Have you ever sat down to try and meditate and all you hear is, oh, I have to go pick up the kids at 4:00. Oh, don't forget to feed the dog. Oh my gosh, did I leave the stove on? Okay, you're not saying these words. They're just thoughts that are coming to you. This is an internal dialogue, and this is a form of meditation. It's a stressful one, but it's a rumination. And so how to get out of it quickly is to write it down and then go back into just peaceful silence. Just have a quiet moment and breathe. Something else pops in your mind, just write it down. You know what? You can even just have a pad and pen next to you and just write even without opening your eyes. It doesn't matter if you can read it afterward. It's the action that tells your stressed out brain, don't worry, I got you. We'll take care of it later because now's not the time. So for me, I really have to be very strict with myself and say, Shev b'sheket, sit down and be quiet. And then I hear an internal voice about something or other. Quiet. Now, it's okay if you can only do this for 30 seconds at a time. It's like a muscle. you will be able to increase that slowly, slowly. And just like muscle training, strength training, just add a little bit to it every time. If you have to start with only 5 seconds of complete brain silence, do it. And then next time do 6, or the next time do 10, whatever you can do, but always add to it and keep going. And the same with physical movement. Physical movement is extraordinarily important for the body's overall function. It helps to, there are different movements that massage the internal organs and help them to, just like your muscles get a massage, the organs, they like a little massage too. Um, so that they're not just like static, working like in their frozen environment. It's a kind of life movement. The blood needs to move. The lymph system needs to move. All of the fluid in the body needs to move all around, everywhere. All the information needs to travel. So, and our joints, like if you make a jointed mechanical thing and it doesn't move, then one day when you go to move it, it's going to be stiff and squeak and maybe even break. And it's the same with our body. So, movement, flexibility, and mobility, and strength. These are all incredibly important. And if you can do if you can have one thing in mind when it comes to physical movement, activity. Do the physical activity instead of the cheat as often as you possibly can. Take the stairs, not the elevator. Take the stairs, not the escalator. Walk instead of taking the tram or a bus or a cab. Don't walk to the center of, and don't drive your car to the center of town and spend 20 minutes trying to find parking. Spend that 20 minutes walking there and back. It will add to your life experience and your life longevity. So the movement, constant movement in the body. Little kids, they don't stop moving. And it makes them happy. It makes us happy too. Sweeping, lengthening movements are much more stress reducing than jerky, tight movements. Okay? Slow, controlled movements are much better for the whole entire body than short, fast movements. Okay, so movement and strengthening in the full range of possible mobility for the joints, and resistance training. These are the most important things for physical movement. Now, what do we do that hinders our healing? We don't actually really have to try to do any of this. These things have become so commonplace in our environment that we have to try not to do it. Stress. We get stressed everywhere. Just try to tell your boss you want a day off. Oh my gosh, what now? You just had one. How can you take a day off? I want to rest, reduce my stress, eat a good meal, ride a horse, dance. What? That's not more important than work? Yeah, much, 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 much more important than work. Reduce the stress. Now, this can happen even in our mind. So, this thought that, oh, I have to do something is very stressful for us. So always make sure that you're consciously making choices. Even if you have only 2 choices, arrive to work or get fired, choose which one you're going to do and then relax into it. Joyfully make that choice. Don't think, oh, I have to do this and I wish I could be doing that. That's stressful for your body. If you are going to make this choice, then do it with joy. And do it with as much good energy as you can. And don't even think about the reasons why you don't want to do it. You're doing it. So check it. Now, poor diet. This is also something incredibly easy. How difficult is it to walk into a store and find healthy food? Okay, nowadays when we walk into a grocery store or a convenience store, what is the percentage of fresh food to packaged food or frozen or canned, right? Notice that next time. Now, all of your fresh food, it often comes in unprepared. Your squash is not a squash pie, just baked, right? And you have to do all the work. So it's really tempting to go buy that shelf food that can last for a long time and feels easier. But just understand how incredibly stressful it is to the body. So you spending 20 minutes to prepare a very healthy, wonderful soup with love and with care and with gratitude that you get to give your body something so delicious and healthy versus 5 minutes of sticking something in a microwave and getting radiated and sticking poison in your body. Like, which one is less stressful? The 20-30 minutes it took to make a nice, yummy soup. It doesn't include the cooking time, but you can do other stuff while it's cooking. That 5 minutes that it took to warm up a microwave meal, you have just poisoned your body. And basically, you have also told it by your actions that its functions, the way it works, is not as important as your need to not spend that 20 minutes in the kitchen. So why, this just messes with our brains. Why would our body trust us? Okay, lack of sleep. And the poor diet, it is so hard to avoid it. Also at other people's places. Oh, you got to eat this. What do you mean you're only eating a salad? I really don't want to put all that other stuff in my mouth. Oh, no, 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 no. You have to eat, 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 eat. No, thank you. It's okay. Just be strong. It's okay. Your body thanks you. Your brain thanks you. Your mind thanks you. And you're happier, lighter, and healthier. So don't worry about what anybody else says. Lack of sleep. I can't tell you how difficult it was for me to have a social life when my children were young, when my babies, especially when I had babies, because very, very, very quickly they didn't want to take naps anymore. And so the only solution for them to get enough sleep, because why should I deprive my children of sleep just because I want to go out, was to put them to bed at 6:30, and then they would sleep all the way through the night till 6 or 6:30 the next morning. So on one hand, great, you've got an evening to yourself. On the other hand, you've got people, oh, come do this, come do that. Just bring your kids. Oh, don't worry. Okay, at least this is the environment in Israel where I live. People go out with their kids everywhere, and it's wonderful. It's very family friendly. However, my babies need to sleep. People made fun of me for going home early, putting my kids to bed. But when I see little children out at 11, 12 at night, screaming and crying because they're so exhausted, they can't even sleep in the stroller, they're so tired. This is so stressful to them, and it's a very bad foundation for their future health. So we don't want to let anything hinder us, especially not ourselves. We got to put the phone down. We got to close the computer. We've got to give ourselves limits. Even though we're adults and we get to make our own choices, if we don't have to use technology, we shouldn't, because technology stresses our body. It is not bioavailable to our body, and it's not a good partner. It's very opposites, very much opposites in function and energy and vibrate and frequency. Exposure to environmental toxins. Now, we can't always avoid these, but we definitely want to do everything we can. We don't want to clean the house with with synthetics or chemicals. We don't want to work in a factory or a pharmaceutical company or someplace or a mall, God forbid. Wow. The toxins in these air fresheners, it's crazy. This hurts our lungs, our blood, and our skin, and our digestion, and our hair. And whatever we breathe into our lungs goes into our blood too. Remember, toxins get stored in the blood. And the blood goes everywhere in the body so that it can get stored everywhere in the body. Goodness. So how do we balance our emotions and our mind to support all of this as well? Because it can be very stressful to think about what I need to do. So I think it's better to, instead of thinking about what I have to do, what I need to do, what do we get to do in order to support this magical machine that just heals itself? I don't even have to give it instructions. All I have to do is feed it the information and tools that it needs, and then make sure that I'm not creating an environment for its nemesis to grow in. So changing our mindset and the way we think about things is very, very important. So we can try, this is one thing for homework, write it down. Instead of I have to, I get to. So, okay, let this be the first, you're supposed to have it earlier. Let this be the first keyword for the certification course, anybody who's taking that. And it's mindset. We want to change our mindset about how we view our body and its functions and what we get to do to support it. Belief system. Now, there are a lot of longevity studies. I don't know if you've seen any of them. And one of the things in common with all centurions is a belief system, a faith system. And so it doesn't, in that way, it doesn't necessarily matter what you believe, even though every belief believes that they're the only one you should believe. The body will relax into a belief. Now, belief is not just about faith. It is also about anything that we constantly think. If I continually think that my dog is annoying and needy and never minds his own business, it becomes a belief system. I believe that dogs are needy and annoying and codependent and always getting in the way. Now, I can change that set of beliefs by just changing the thoughts that I'm continuing to think. I can change that to, oh, my dog's so happy to see me. Oh, isn't it? They're so sweet that they want to support us and be there for us. And dogs are very aware of their environment, and they really notice when something's off. So now I've changed my mindset in order to change my belief. Now this affects my emotions. If my mindset is that I can't get it right, then I'm going to start believing that. And everything I do is going to be discouraging and depressing. And I am going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. My body is going to follow my belief system. If I believe that everything I do is good and correct, and I can't get it wrong, because even if I do something that somebody calls a mistake, I learn from it and I grow from it, and I up level using it as a stepstone. So that becomes my new belief. Now my body follows suit. My coordination gets better. My cognitive function improves. What I tell my body is the only truth that it knows. Aside from its natural function, its designed function, my body follows whatever I tell it. If I believe I'm a loser, my body will join and show me, help to prove to me that I'm a loser. If I believe I'm a winner, my body will help me understand that I am a winner. It's true. I can do it. I can win the race. I can win the spelling contest because I can remember the words. I can, all sorts of things. This directly affects our emotions, right? Because our emotions are so fluid and often based on how we're feeling and what we believe. So optimism comes in when we have a mindset that, let's say, there's always beauty. I can always find something good. Something good will always come out of whatever happens. So I love this little picture. It's a rainy day. Instead of whining and complaining about a rainy day and can't do what you want to do and believing that nothing works out for you, take an umbrella and go out and look how happy the earth is to receive the rain. You don't have to get wet, but you can still enjoy it. You can have a different experience. So that's what optimism is, just really understanding that you can find something helpful or good out of almost any of these situations. And so you begin looking for that. And you don't blame the situation for how you feel. And then the balance. If we have too much rest and we don't have enough activity, if we have too much activity and not enough rest, if we have activity and rest but we're not working on something, and I don't mean job, I don't mean the job, I mean working. Whether you're, growing something in your garden or you're doing a project, work is very important. Our bodies want to work. Our brains want to work. They want to function. They want to figure things out. They want to expand. So balance in everything is very, very important. Now, some people think that this is balance between something that is negative for us and something that is positive for us. No. We're talking all the ranges of things that are healthy for us and support our body's wellness journey in balance. I am not talking about balancing a poor diet with a good diet. Make sense? Okay, so what are some other things that we can do? Well, of course, we're with doTERRA and we have a lot of solutions. I've got an oil for that. So we want to fill our home medicine cabinets with safe, pure, and effective doTERRA CPTG certified pure, tested grade essential oils and whole food supplements, and of course, all the natural solutions for the whole family. Okay, so how do we support the organs that we were talking about today? With the liver, you regular support essential oils. These are like daily that you can use in a regular support system. Lemon, rosemary, geranium, helichrysum, grapefruit, zendocrine blend. Now, if you want to detox the liver, lemon, grapefruit, rosemary, zendocrine blend. Oh, isn't that interesting? There's some crossover there. Like almost exactly. Now, so you would just, as a regular support, we'll talk about a little recipe for that. A detox is going to be a little bit more intense. And talk to someone, talk to a health professional that knows essential oils, preferably someone associated with doTERRA, because most people are not able to use essential oils the way that we can use CPTG oils. CPTG oils are very, very different than your store-bought oils. There's nothing like this on the market. Absolutely nothing. It is 1000% provable. You can do the research yourself. In order to use CPTG oils, you have to treat it as if it were a medicine. It's not a medicine, but as if it were. It's potent, and it's very pure, and it's very effective. So you have to know how to use it. And one of the things that we learn in our safety class of essential oils is when you're taking ingestible CPTG oils, you don't want to take more than 20 in 24 hours. Okay, so that's one safety tip I just need to plug in here because that's very important. That's what your liver can process. And it's not something that you want to do on a very long-term basis. It's just for necessary times. And then you go back to a few drops a day. It's not a problem. And in fact, it's not just not a problem, it's helpful. Okay, doTERRA supplements for the liver, Zendocrine gel, soft gels, DDR Prime soft gels, Terrazyme Lifelong Vitality Pack, etc. So, excuse me, I need some water from all this talking. Okay, so you can take a little screenshot or a picture of this chart to keep on hand, so that you can understand how to daily support the liver, lungs, kidneys, digestive system, and heart, and also which things to take for detoxing. Okay, now here are some recipes, or well, first keynotes for each organ. The liver supports the detoxification of metabolism. So you want to apply the oils directly over the liver area and ingest only as recommended. Focus on citrus oils like lemon, grapefruit for gentle cleansing. The lungs facilitate oxygen exchange and respiratory health. So diffuse oils and apply diluted oils to the chest. Eucalyptus and lemon are particularly helpful for clearing toxins. The kidneys filter waste and regulate fluid balance. Apply diluted oils over the lower back area, and juniper berry is particularly effective for kidney support and detoxification. Excuse me. Okay, you probably already read that. Digestive system breaks down the food, absorbs nutrients, and eliminates waste. So apply the oils diluted to the abdomen or ingest as directed, and use oils like fennel and ginger to support that digestive cleaning. A really amazing blend, one of my favorites, is DigestSend for the digestive system. So perfect. The heart pumps the blood and supports the circulatory system, so apply diluted oils over the chest or pulse points. Frankincense and grapefruit support circulatory detox and overall heart health. Love both of those. Okay, so here, please take a screenshot of this. It's very important. I'm not going to read through every single one of them. There are just some recipes and application techniques to help you get started. And of course, ensure proper hydration with electrolytes, especially when detoxing. Consider taking Terrazyme and PB Restore and Assist for more digestive support. And supplements like the Lifelong Vitality provide foundational support for all organ systems. Okay, so I want to put in the second key phrase for the certification participants is lifelong vitality for support organ systems. You can shorten that to LLV, support organ, I can speak, systems. Okay, hope everyone got that. We're going to move on. All right, so your homework for this week is take time to journal. If you want to get anywhere, you need to know, first of all, where you are, where you're starting from, and where you want to go. And because our mind is very fickle and very affected by so many different factors, and because our memory is only true one time, and after that we're remembering memories, journaling is extraordinarily important. And it's something I really must do more of. So I am really talking to myself right now. And I've been talking to myself a lot about this lately, so it's going to happen. Take time to journal. What is your lifestyle? Briefly describe your daily routines, your habits, and your patterns. We're just getting a foundational understanding of who we are right here. And this is just brutally honest. Come on, don't sugarcoat this. It's not helpful to anyone. What are your daily activities? Work, exercise, eating habits, leisure, etc. What is your influence on overall well-being? How do your lifestyle and activities affect your overall health and vitality? Think about how you're living and what you're doing and how that affects you, how you feel, and how you feel about life. Be honest. It can only help. Influence on healing process. So now you're going to start to identify ways that your habits are supporting or hindering your healing journey. Be honest. This is for our betterment. No one's judging this. You don't have to turn this to any teacher. Supporting your healing. Reflect on actions you can take to promote healing, like rest, healthy eating, positive mindset. Look back up here at number 4, where you've identified the habits that are supporting and hindering. Start to think about those. And the first thing you want to do is just to be aware. Okay. Don't worry even about how am I going to do this, just to be aware and just to think about, if I could do this, what would it be? And number 6, inhibiting your healing. Are there any behaviors or habits or mindsets or beliefs that are blocking your healing? Stress, poor sleep, unhealthy food choices, and again, belief systems, limiting belief systems, uneducated belief systems, whatever it is it damaging you? And how is that happening? So after you do that, take some time. And then every day we want to do what's called in Hebrew as a cheshbon nefesh. How can we improve? What was our day? Go through, visualize every part of your day. Just take a few minutes to do that. And then go through and imagine that day over. Ideally, what could you improve? Habits, activities, thoughts, actions, words. What could you have changed to enhance and support your healing lifestyle? This is a whole lifestyle. How can you support yourself more effectively? Consider changes or new practices that empower your healing process. And just do a little bit every day, And it's all about one step at a time. Don't get discouraged. We can do this together. This is why we have community, to support each other. And so really stay connected and continue your wellness journey. Hopefully you'll join our team and you can do it with us, and we'll get to support you, and we'll get to create that personalized path to vibrant health together. But even if you don't, I'm glad that you're here today, and just know that we would be very happy to know you better. If you have questions or you need guidance, contact the team at nrsupport@protonmail.com, or contact your class hostess after this recording. You can find out how you can receive additional support and guidance in your journey. You can join our community. We have a WhatsApp support chat, a monthly meetup. We have Zoom calls and trainings, and of course, seminars, parties, and events. These things are all free except for the main doTERRA once a year seminars we pay for, but the other seminars we do are all free for our team. It's not about making money. This is really about community support. Okay. Our YouTube channel, free resources, find tips, classes, medical and scientific research, and product tutorials. And of course, if you need any protocols for specific health issues, you can let us know. Okay, guys, I have to go now, but thank you so much for joining us. And as always, just don't get discouraged. Please just get excited about what you get to do now that you know more. You are empowered with more knowledge to effectively support your body and all of its functions. So I look forward to seeing you next week, maybe at the next class, Wednesday at 5 o'clock. And you can stay on after this recording for questions and answers if you want. Real quick, we're going to end with our last keyword for the certification, and that is community. Okay, these keywords are not are not part of the education. Even though they're asked on the quiz, they are for people who are taking this course remotely to get certification. So it's important to know that they've gone through the whole entire recording. Okay, so again, until next time, I wish you a wonderful health and a joyful heart.